Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds. Let's just get started.
Shoulder.
Cheek to
Let's
cheek.
just get started.
Cheek to cheek.
Sure. We need an entrance theme for this fucking podcast.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
that'd be
I was
good.
just gonna do the We Just Watched, but we can, because the We Just Watched is like the intro sound, and then
Let me tell you what it needs to be.
okay,
You need to start with it, and then immediately glass breaks.
Yeah,
Right into stone. Like, why are we fucking around? God Almighty! Let's go right for the jugular. No! Right for the jugular.
Yeah,
You know,
pretty
Texas
much.
rattlesnake here.
It's a Texas rattlesnake, God. I'll bet you like this, King.
Some guy, by the way, okay, there's a fucking guy named David Shoemaker, right, who is like, he's a wrestling podcast aficionado. His podcast is called The Masked Man. He compared, and I have to say this, I just need to get the right person who it was.
Okay.
He compared anyone that's currently in WWE to Stone Cold. He was like, the run they're having is kind of like, it was Becky Lynch. The run she's having is kind of like Stone Cold. And I was like, that sounds like a person who's never watched wrestling. Because I've seen Stone Cold Steve Austin. I've seen him in real life. You know what happened when people saw him in real life? They lost their damn minds. They were animals. They were screaming unhinged screams of ghoulish delight at his face appearing from behind a curtain.
Right into
that is
his
not
guillotine
happening.
face.
That is
His
not
shiny
happening with
pate.
Becky Lynch. Like, it's just like, I love wrestling so much that I don't know the difference between a thing I love and whether it's good.
Yeah.
That is what I believe that is.
Yeah.
Anyway, is this on the podcast? Have we
don't know.
started yet?
This is all on the
we haven't done
podcast.
the intro.
Who cares?
Does it matter?
That was the intro.
Okay.
Okay.
We are all us, and we just watched Royal Rumble 2019.
Yeah, this is a special. We Just Watched. It's a special one for Royal Rumble.
Dave and I have to share a microphone, and Tom has never been happier in his whole life.
I'm so
This
happy
is
on
the most happy he's ever been in his whole life. Also, Dave,
Look at you two assholes.
Hi.
we have to lean in like we're doing a duet.
We're touching shoulder.
We really are touching shoulders. I hate how much glee you have. I should have gotten an hour break so I could have ramped my glee up to match.
I think it's gonna be a good balance because it's gonna ramp up as we're going.
Should we introduce ourselves?
Sure.
Kevin?
Sure.
Go ahead, you maniac. Look at you.
Hi. I'm David Bell.
That introduction was as long as the motherfucking event was. It was 5 hours.
Yep.
I'm Adam Ganser, and I'm sitting next to Dave.
Adam Ganser.
Dave with his heaving breath. Go ahead.
I'm Cristian Ramirez.
I'm Tom Ryman. We're comfortably on our own
Yeah.
microphones.
Nice.
Right,
Got
they
some
stuck
room.
us
We're comfortably sharing one.
This is punishment because I was late. That's
I
all this is.
don't see what the big deal is. So yeah, we watched Royal Rumble 2019.
Yeah.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Did you watch the pre-show?
I
No.
No. What fool would watch it?
did. I did.
Oh my God. Why?
Is it only?
I
on-
just went back today and did
can
it.
you watch it not live?
Yeah.
Yeah, on
I
the
didn't-
app- on
You
the
can
app.
watch replays. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see the option. I
Oh, you
clicked
can-
Start Royal Rumble, and it started with the Becky Lynch versus
Yeah. They gave you the right stuff.
Asuka.
They gave you the good stuff.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that's
but
not
it's
the
true.
pre-show.
Oh, no. There's
Okay.
2 more hours. There's 2
Yeah.
hours you didn't see.
Christ Almighty!
Yeah, there's like 30 other wrestlers on this roster
Yeah.
whose names you don't know.
Yeah. It was just 3 matches. There was a good cruiserweight match, and yeah, that was pretty much
I'm going
it.
to put good cruiserweight match in air quotes because that's where it belongs. Also, very briefly, it makes you really mad about this Nia Jax thing. Hot take. It makes you even madder about this Nia Jax double, like the
that was
double.
weird. That was weird.
The double visitation of Nia Jax.
Yeah.
When you're like, oh, Shinsuke Nakamura is wrestling in the pre-card? Bray Wyatt wasn't in the building?
Yeah, that's true.
That's insane.
Bray Wyatt was not invited.
Anyway, we're not going to like my hot take on Nia Jax, I'm sure, but
I don't know. I thought it was weird, but we'll get to it.
Yeah.
I have a first question that I think everybody's asking.
Here we go.
Yes.
Is Golden Crisp a cereal?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you
Sugar
mean, are
bear.
they- Who's
got
I
the
heard
bear
of
on it,
Cookie
yeah.
Crisp,
Yeah, get
and
it
I've heard of
golden
Golden Grams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Golden
Yeah,
Crisp.
Sugar Bear.
I was like, is it fake? Are you fake?
No, it's
so
real.
I've never heard
That's
of
why I
that.
ask about all your jokes. Every one of your jokes, I'm
This
like, is
isn't a
this
joke.
fake?
This is a question. That was the first thing that struck me because they kept being like, buy Golden Crisp. And I was like, is this like a Bandersnatch thing? Is this like a...
Is this going to be just
Is this
random
like a
questions from Dave?
cereal?
Question 2, what's a dividend?
Yeah.
Can I get one?
I thought they were doing a bit or something because I never heard of Golden Crisp. And I thought maybe I was the problem. But I was
Rest assured, you were in fact the problem,
You were
Dave.
the problem.
That's correct.
You were.
okay. Sorry, everybody.
Rest
We're
assured.
all well acquainted with Golden Crisps.
Yeah. So how do you feel about Becky Lynch now? Where are you at with Becky Lynch at this point in your life?
Who's that? Which one's that?
She is the last kicker, the man,
The red-haired one
the
that-
redheaded Scottish
Yeah.
Irish.
lady. Is she Irish? Okay, Irish.
Oh,
Yeah,
She won the
lost
Royal
first-
Rumble.
Lost the first match, won the Royal Rumble.
yeah. I thought that was a good arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially since she got concussed earlier in the season, I guess.
Yeah.
Punched
She got
right
her
in the
nose
face.
punched.
Yeah.
Right in the
Really?
face.
Yeah, by Nia Jax, who, let's be honest, we're comfortable in this podcast hating her.
Wait, is she the one that? Which one's she?
She was in the men's Royal Rumble too.
was the
Oh,
one
I
that went
loved
in the
her.
Royal Rumble 100 times.
I love.
Wouldn't
her.
stop
Are you
being in
kidding
all the
me?
Rumbles.
Are you kidding me? Because here's the thing.
I knew you were going to do this.
All right.
I knew it was happening.
We talked about this. We talked about this before we started recording too. Before you got here.
Yeah.
I think Tom, you said the same thing. I don't know, Christian, if you had the same opinion. The women's one was way more entertaining.
Way better.
I feel like they
The
were.
Women's Royal Rumble specifically.
Yes,
I thought the
yes,
women's title match was better too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
In general, the women were better on every level.
And I felt like they thought it was going to be the opposite
Yes.
because they threw in a leprechaun.
Yes.
And I was like, we don't need
Yeah.
a leprechaun.
We don't need any more midget jokes.
Yeah, no.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
None.
Never
Get
again.
rid of it.
Right. We still had to deal with last year in WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's like, is it
When
every
New Day
major
came
event?
out. Nah, that's too bad.
Why are
But,
we doing this?
Because Vince still thinks little people are a hilarious joke.
Vince
Yeah.
is a carny at
Yeah.
heart, and that's
I mean,
what
that's
this
fair.
is. Yeah.
That's fair. It makes me,
Look at 'em.
It makes me want to ask questions.
They're
about
smaller than me. That's funny.
It makes me want to ask questions about who's actually behind this Daniel Bryan hot take. Because I want to talk
Yeah.
about it later. Because that is my
Oh.
favorite thing I've ever seen in
I
wrestling.
was
maybe.
texting Christian as I was watching it. I was like, "This is like convincing people to boo for Fern Gully." Like
I thought it was literally brilliant. I was
I
like,
love
this
it.
it's
is
pretty brilliant. It's pretty
This
brilliant.
is genius.
Wait. All right. Well, hold on. Really quick.
Oh,
Finishing
you're gonna
the thought.
organize it, you maniac?
Well, no. I want to ask about that because I'm not sure what that is.
Fern Gully?
No. What you guys are just specifically
Bryan.
talking about.
Yeah.
I know Daniel Bryan. I didn't know. I've been hearing that he's he has a shtick, but I don't know what the shtick is.
We'll get to it.
But I just wanted to say that's why what's her name? Why I liked her is because the men's Royal Rumble was boring, and then she came out and started throwing them off, and I just wanted that some more because I was like, oh, thank you, fucking Christ, because the men's one was so boring. It was nice to have because the ladies one was so good, having a taste of that show back up. I don't know. She was like my hero for it.
I can't disagree with what you're saying, which is part of what bums me out about it.
Her and Nikki.
It's like
Nikki
she
Cross.
did make it more interesting.
Yeah.
I can't say she
She
did.
did.
Nikki Cross,
One of my
Nikki Cross
notes.
is great.
Lady
my
Ultimate
notes-
Warrior.
Yeah, one of my notes is just Nikki Cross is my girlfriend now.
Okay, really
She's
quick.
wonderful.
This is out of order, but I don't care. I want ranked in your mind just from top to bottom, like the top 5 women's wrestlers right now. Like just rank them for you. Like
For me?
Yeah, for you. Rank who are your top 5? I want to hear this.
Okay, Asuka,
Okay.
Charlotte, I guess.
Okay.
Alexa Bliss,
Oh yeah.
that pirate lady,
I knew you were gonna say this shit.
That
Okay, keep going.
fucking
The
pirate
pirate lady is
Kyrie Sane.
Kyrie Sane.
I don't care. I don't care what her name
She
is.
was
That
delightful.
is that. No, that gimmick's delightful because it tickles you right in the blue collar job. That's what it does.
It's a
This is
great-
not a
I just saw
gimmick.
her sprint down there
That
with
is
a
a
telescope.
hat.
Yeah.
That is literally a hat.
Oh, but she
and
was
a
delightful.
jacket.
And there's music.
Okay. All right.
There's
And
music.
keep going. You have one more.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say either. I guess probably Becky Lynch, right?
I mean, if that's how you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you've correctly identified. I would take this pirate lady out. That's insane. I can't have it.
like that
That's
pirate lady.
ridiculous. Charlotte is the best wrestler they have, period. She's number one, period. She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's so
Which
good.
one's that?
She's like the 6'2" incredible female wrestler, the blonde one. The Ric Flair's daughter. She was
one of the-
far and away the best.
yeah.
She's
Okay.
far and away the best.
Charlotte
It's not
Flair.
close.
They call her
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Yeah,
Flair.
Charlotte
Yeah.
Flair.
Yeah, she was very good.
She's always very good.
Yeah.
Like, just every time. Asuka, totally agree. Becky Lynch, totally agree. I want to get a little bit of rep for Carmella. Can we get a little rep for her? She is awesome.
Which one's Carmella?
She didn't do that much in the Royal Rumble, but she came out and did the moonwalk.
Oh yeah, I liked the ones where they would come out and have this like big elaborate intro, and then someone would just throw them right the fuck up.
Yeah,
out of the
that's
way.
classic Royal
That's
Rumble.
Yeah,
classic,
that was-
like
that was
Bobby
great.
Lashley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
classic
Look at
Royal
Bobby
Rumble.
Lashley.
Also,
Is that the
Titus had a
conga
nice-
line?
Oh, yeah.
Conga line was great because then someone started beating up the conga line.
Carmella is amazing.
She is.
Carmella's had one of the best wrestling years I've ever seen. Like, every time I've seen her in a pay-per-view or in an activity, she's always playing like the amount she has to play. But when she when she plays heel, nobody's better. She's like Ted DiBiase level. She's so fucking good at it. And I just wish there was more of her in this Rumble. I really do. She's so good. I love her.
There's a couple more people that stuck out. I can't remember her name, but the American Ninja Warrior lady.
Yeah, she was.
Casey
Yeah.
Catanzaro.
She's
Yeah.
fucking flipping all over the place.
It's hard to differentiate some of them from each other because like they don't have distinct gimmicks.
No, but she was like Rey Mysterio. So like,
I mean, it gets
Right.
way
In-
worse
in-
when the
in, like-
guys come out there.
right?
I agree.
It's
I agree with
like
that.
yeah,
all these
like
beardy
all the
fucking honkies, like
that are just the same
God.
dude, and none of them have an identifiable gimmick.
Yeah.
I also thought the first lady that was out. Was,
I liked
was
her.
good.
Oh, Lacey Evans?
Lacey Evans. Yeah.
You know what she might be? I could see this happening. She could be the wrestling equivalent of that lady from A League of Their Own. Like who's like the
Yeah.
who's the charm school leader?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just I could see her being like, I'm gonna be the charm school, like
But she's
not,
al-
like Nazi aficionado here.
She's
Just
also-
making them all graceful. You know,
She's
like,
also like a dick.
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
of course she is.
It's like she struck me as a real Jericho in a way.
yeah, but she's not funny like Jericho.
Yeah, I mean, I thought
She's also very new to it. So
That was like her debut, wasn't it?
this is her main roster debut.
That's
like
pretty
I thought
good.
the character. I was like the character. I was like, oh, that's kind of, that's fun. And then her in the ring, like she lasted a long time.
She was very
And
good.
Her ring stuff was good. I was like, oh, she's good.
Too many characters were just dumb hats. There was a lot of dumb
That
hat
hat
characters. All the hats.
Oh, it's just
Oh, the
on
hat bit with like she stomps on the hat.
Yeah,
oh my
she
god,
stomps on the hat
with Alicia Fox.
Alicia Fox. That's right.
That was some Dave shit.
That
I was
was-
like, Dave, I hope you're enjoying this.
Some real Dave.
I kind of
shit.
like the hat. Yeah.
Honestly, I was
course.
watching it with my brother. I was like, I know Dave's enjoying this. I can just feel it in my bones.
Yeah. Oh man.
Alexa Bliss, by the way.
Yeah, she's great.
I don't care that she's not that good of a wrestler. The best. She is the fucking best.
Oh, you don't think she was that good?
I just don't
liked
think
everything
this is all just asshole shit. I'm just gonna say I don't care. It's just hard to believe her having a believable match against any of the real talent they have.
Oh, because
You know,
she's small.
She's small and her moves don't look like they hurt.
I thought the stuff she was
Right.
doing on the apron with
Yeah.
Sure. Ember Moon.
Yeah, the
Ember
slapping.
Moon,
I
Ember
like
Moon.
Ember Moon too.
I like Amber
The-
Moon.
the-
She really stuck it out for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wish she'd had a big moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me
Kinda
too.
didn't.
Because I just liked her general attitude and her
Yeah.
presence.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she
like-
didn't get a big moment because she has one of the coolest finishing moves in the entire roster. She jumps off the top rope, does a twisting stunner on people. Like, why don't you have that
Jesus.
during the
Oh.
Rumble?
I agree.
That's we'll
I
get
just wish
to
they'd
that.
quit
There's some
pouring the stunner out. I really do.
There are many elements to the stunner. All right.
No, there's one element.
primary
being
el-
Stone Cold
I was
is
gonna
the
say,
fucking element.
The primary element to the stunner is being stone cold.
not to jump around too much, but seeing an old guy do a backflip is something that happened during this.
Yeah, Shane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that shocked me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Shane.
He's 49 years old.
That all right.
Is that all he is?
He looks way old.
That was amazing
Yeah,
because it was
he's-
like
he's got a little bit of the drinking thing, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
There was
Not to
he
be a
was
dick, but-
he was
Well, he's got the-
he's
yeah.
soft. He's soft, and it was him.
He's soft. He did a backflip for your
No,
entertainment.
he looks soft, and it was him fully clothed, and then a guy who didn't have any pants on but had like a jersey, And then there was some redheaded motherfuckers, one with a mohawk. And all I thought was like...
Rocksteady.
Yeah, and all I thought was
Sheamus.
we're watching a Boston bar brawl.
Yes.
Like, that's what we're watching. One of them doesn't have pants on. One of them like 50.
How many people get in fights in Boston pantless in your experience?
I mean, if they did, it would look a little something like that.
Yeah, right, sure.
Throughout the course of the fight, pants may be removed.
Yeah.
That's just a thing.
And then
Shane's
he did
been
a
doing that shit for years.
backflip,
Yeah.
and it was like,
the backflip was a truly stunning moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we go
I
in
didn't
order though?
think I'm- sorry.
No, it's my fault too.
Sorry.
It's because we're
sorry.
sharing this mic.
Sorry.
Your mouth got way too close to my mouth. That was really upsetting.
You
guys are gonna smooch
when we
before
started,
the
you
show.
dared me to be breathy.
You guys are just going to full on smooch before
I
this.
did. It's on me for saying it. I
You
should have said
want it.
breathy. You want this. Asuka, underrated.
You think she's underrated?
Yes, underrated. She's the best.
I see her in almost all the promotional material.
Yeah,
As a
got
casual
great
wrestling,
look.
as a casual wrestling fan, I am well aware of who she is.
Who delivers more consistently in their matches than Asuka?
The ones I've seen? I don't know. She's pretty good.
Yeah. Maybe only Charlotte.
I dig that
but-
match.
Maybe only
shit.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can't
Fun
cut
entrance.
Yeah, the entrance.
Charlotte's the one that won.
Yeah.
She's brave.
Asuka's no, that's Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch. So, she lost the first one. She won.
she-
Correct.
She
That's
lost
Becky
to Asuka.
Lynch. Becky Lynch is having a very nice year.
She's a good protagonist. I
Yeah,
think.
she
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's fine as a wrestler.
Becky
I don't-
Lynch?
Yeah, I think she's fine. I don't think she's amazing. I think she's okay. I think Charlotte is a world class athlete. I think Asuka, world class athlete. I think I've named them. Even Nia Jax is in some ways more impressive than Becky Lynch. Not in terms of being fun,
Right.
in my art, but more impressive as an athlete to me.
I think she's fun.
she threw some motherfuckers around.
She looked good in the men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She legitimately looked good, which kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. I liked how they handled that. I like.
I hated it, and we're gonna.
Really?
Yes, I definitely.
All right,
hated
we'll get
it.
to that.
I definitely hated it.
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
but Asuka versus Becky.
That was a good match.
Is that the
Yeah, it
first
was really
one?
good.
Yeah, that was the very
very
first one.
It was a little bit of a heart-sinking moment when you realize it went on for 18 minutes. 18 minutes and it's one match.
Didn't clock
Yeah.
that.
You're like, there's two. I did. Because I was like, how long is this going to be, man?
Wait, is that
Like,
too long or not long enough?
It's
'Cause
pretty long.
Time
For
is
When there's
meaningless.
two Royal Rumbles?
I'm just saying every match I watch, time is meaningless. I don't time them. I zone out near the middle.
Yeah.
And then it ends, and I rewind it usually, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck was that? It's that where I'll start thinking, and then I'll see someone fly through the screen, and I'll have to go back and see what that was. But when they're just holding each other and making faces like it hurts, I'm like, come on.
By the way, was there ever a better gift than Brock Lesnar when he put on that that clutch move that killed that made Finn Balor submit?
Yeah.
Because the camera snuck around Finn Balor's arm, and then there's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. with his bulging cool eyes.
Oh, yeah, that was
It looked like Bilbo grabbing the ring.
Yeah.
that was wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, what a
I
boring
gained some respect
asshole.
for him. Well, those eyes was
Yeah.
be like, oh, okay, he's trying.
Who should Asuka wrestle? Who's interesting for Asuka to wrestle? Because you know for a fact that Charlotte, Becky Lynch,
Interesting?
and Ronda Rousey, that is the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah, probably.
That's happening.
Yeah.
Definitely. There's no
Sure.
question. Because that's the marquee matchup, those
Yeah.
three. So who's Asuka wrestle?
That's tough because there's the
Mick
only other people
Jagger?
on.
That would be fun to watch.
Why don't they employ you?
Yeah.
Why the hell don't they employ you?
I have 2 wrestler ideas, by the way. I'll
Save
show
them. I'm not ready yet. We've got to get a couple matches
We
in
gotta
before
get, we
this
gotta
shit
get
happens.
some amount of time into this card.
Yeah.
Before here comes your fucking.
I really
brain-
don't-
the gardener or whatever the fuck it
Yeah.
is.
I have 3 wrestler ideas now.
The building superintendent. The property
manager, Matthew.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Asuka.
You don't know exactly.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
They have to call somebody up probably from NXT and
But
have
they
them go on a run.
They have Carmella. They have
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss. They have Nia Jax. They have, and then 100 people with pirate caps. They got so many people,
Yeah.
and yet I can't think of a person who fits to wrestle Asuka.
Right.
That's weird.
Yeah, the only person that I can think of that they haven't built up enough is Sonya Deville. That's just because she's an MMA person,
Mm-hmm.
so I could see them striking with each other and it being an interesting match.
What about that ninja?
Oh yeah.
Ninja was cool. I want to see more of that Ninja.
Xia Li, I think was her name. The one with the red.
One, no, like the American Ninja. The
yeah.
Ganzaro.
yeah, like a fucking ninja. She
I'm going to tell you something about wrestling, Dave.
Okay.
It's not really that important whether they have cool moves. I mean, it's kind of important.
I
It's
think
not-
it's
it's
a
really
little
more.
important.
I don't think it is. I think the most important thing is, are they interesting people? That is the most important thing.
Yeah.
That is why Alexa Bliss is the best.
Right, yeah, because she's got a great fucking evil
Then her,
villain. Yeah.
She's a bad guy, so it's just
Yeah.
kind of weird.
Is
Like, her-
Asuka a bad guy?
I don't know what
Asuka,
she
yeah,
is.
she's a tweener. She's in the middle. She's just
They call
kind of
them
somebody.
tweeners.
Like
Yeah.
she
She
like
fits in a category called foreign.
like I couldn't
Right?
I
Like,
couldn't
is
quite
that-
tell. I was like, she's doing bad things. She's doing heel stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
I think they just kind of let her do her thing, and however the crowd responds, that's
Right,
what she
yeah.
is.
Just go kick people. People are gonna like it. Yeah.
They kind of decided Shinsuke Nakamura was the same thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like they did a heel turn with him at last WrestleMania, but really it's just like, no,
He's the same guy.
This is
He's
just him.
he's just wrestler Michael Jackson. He's
Yeah.
the best.
yeah, he's pretty
You know?
sweet.
Yeah.
He's pretty great.
Yeah. I think we should know who Asuka. I think I should already know who Asuka is going to wrestle.
Yeah. At
I think it's
at
weird that I don't know
WrestleMania.
that.
Oh, maybe they'll surprise you with some shit.
Well, it's
that
not
you'll
going to be
like,
Natalia.
No.
you
Which
know?
one's Natalia?
She was the second one in the Royal Rumble.
Right.
She stuck it out for a real long time.
Okay,
Wearing,
also-
like gold vest.
This is one of my first observations, but like, it's not fair that some have to go out right away. That's not fair.
That's the point.
Right. How do they choose?
It's a lottery.
Yeah.
Is it though?
Yes, life is a cruel
Well, I
lottery,
mean-
Dave. Sometimes there are extra
Within-
phones, and sometimes there's not.
within the storyline of the wrestling, it's a lottery.
Right.
But of course, it's pre-written.
They should put them all in like sacks or like a cage. Hear me out. Above it, and they drop them all at once.
They
Just
do have.
30
They do
people.
have the.
Battle Royals.
And they
which-
do have the chamber matches where
Oh yeah,
the
elimination chamber.
the chamber
Okay.
slides open.
There's
and lets
still
them out.
people. You can't just drop them from places.
No, we
Laying
did
on their
wrestle.
feet.
Yeah, we did that.
It's not a cockfight. You
Right.
can't just drop them in the middle of the ring and go wrestle.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Nobody caught my own heart joke.
oh my god, I didn't put it together until you said it.
Yeah, I know. Inappropriate.
Yeah. Well,
I know it just doesn't seem fair.
what's the second match?
Second match was
That was
It was
her
the
name?
tag team match, wasn't it?
yeah,
versus
that was
That
the tag team match.
why in the living hell is that on the main card?
It shouldn't have been.
What?
Rusev versus Shinsuke should have been in that spot.
Of course, Rusev
What do you-
wasn't
It's
in the
'cause
main
Shane-
event.
yeah.
I didn't see Rusev.
No, he
That's
wasn't.
right.
Right.
What even was the tag team?
The tag
that was
team.
your Boston Bar
There was
thing.
your Boston Bar.
Yeah.
fight
Oh,
with
yeah,
the
with
old
the
guy
fucking-
doing a flip.
Okay, so
because
that
Shane
was,
is in that match.
Yeah,
that's
it's because
why.
Shane's the boss's son.
yeah.
Well, no, I think people care about Shane
Yeah.
McMahon, and
Well,
he
yeah.
did do a
He
stunt
always
that people cared.
every time he does a big spot.
It was nice seeing. There was only like 2 old guys I was worried about this time.
That's good.
Kurt
Yeah.
Angle really
Kurt Angle,
worried me.
yeah.
Kurt Angle really
That
worried
was
me.
the
Which
one
one's
for
that?
me.
Is that the one of
He
them?
was like number 3, I think.
Yeah.
He was a
Yeah.
bald
He can't even
guy.
He can't
head.
move.
Yeah, he
Like-
can't turn
Oh,
his head.
Yeah.
3. Yeah, there's 3 guys.
He looks like
me.
Batman and without
There was
and
also
the
that
Tim
Hall of
Burton,
Famer
yeah.
who went out second.
Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
that
Jeff
was a
Jarrett.
nice outing for Jeff Jarrett.
Okay, yeah. Well, they got him. They got him out of there quick.
Right.
I feel like the old guys are like, look, I gotta be home.
Well, they
I gotta
can't-
go to
they
bed.
can't-
Just get me out of there quickly.
They can't wrestle for the
Yeah.
full time
Yeah.
of the Rumble. Jarrett was looking pretty old.
Yeah, you think he's almost 60?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that's
got to
true.
be pretty old.
I thought he. It was a nice outing for him.
Yeah, it was cool.
I thought it was funny. And
Yeah.
I'm a huge Elias fan.
Yeah.
Massive Elias fan. Elias is right up my alley. Like,
Yeah.
Because boy is he good at it. He's so good at it.
Yeah.
It's like, just the amount that you're like, oh, I'm starting to hate this. Like that's like, yeah, you're perfect.
I mean, the moment someone shows up with a guitar, I'm like, I'm starting to hate this.
That's
That's why he's so good. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
so good.
That's like one of the big push spots though, is being the first out in the Rumble, right?
Yeah.
I think Elias is like one of their more important wrestlers. I'm not lying to you.
I mean, they let him bring the show to a halt to do his bit, so it's like they're clearly pushing him.
I mean, WWE doesn't know when a bit is over, and it takes
That's
them
true.
about 3 years to figure it out usually.
Yes.
So we got another 2 years of Elias, at least.
But yeah, he's
I'm
like
delightful.
going to
It's
be a
delighting.
solid intercontinental,
Oh yeah,
that kind of area guy.
I got news for you. I think he could do better than that.
I mean, I think he probably could, but not while Brock is Universal Champion.
Brock Lesnar is a fucking black hole.
Yeah.
They got to get rid of him. It's
I think that's
it's ruining
coming at
everything.
WrestleMania.
It's ruining everything.
I mean, this was we're going to get to it. This was probably the best Brock match I've ever seen.
I heard behind the scenes that he wanted it.
Yeah, that's
That's
what
why
I've
it
heard.
happened. He wanted this match.
Oh, okay.
They didn't want it. He did.
He's been doing good with because since last SummerSlam, he's gone against AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, and now.
Well, he's
Finn.
picking guys that can work. Because I mean, like
Smaller guys, too.
I was getting ready to say like this is the best Brock match I can remember because Finn Balor was doing all the lifting.
Yep.
He's doing all the work.
The more I watch Finn Balor, the more a cosmic shrug occurs in my heart. I just don't care about him. I
mean,
wish I did.
he's good.
I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
something.
Like he's technically good.
I figured. No, I think he's technically pretty good.
Sure.
I think there's I think that's important. He's not Shawn Michaels.
No.
Like, he's
No.
pretty good. The other thing is, and this is like a brutal critique of him, and I do this every fucking time we do a podcast. If he's not the demon, you know he's not going to win. If he doesn't come out as the demon, he doesn't win. So it's like, well, that's stupid.
Who's the demon?
Thank you for asking that.
Yeah.
And thank you for being so close to me when you did it.
Smooch.
So Finn Balor has an alter ego that's just him in makeup called the Demon, and he crawls to the ring. That's the only difference, really.
I think you probably saw it last WrestleMania.
I know you've seen it, and I know you're playing.
Okay.
I know you're playing dumb right now. But that's a real problem. If he's going to wrestle Brock Lesnar and he doesn't come out as the Demon, what am I watching? He's not going to win. How could he win? Only the Demon could beat Brock Lesnar. That's how wrestling math goes.
I just assumed he wasn't going to win because I long ago stopped thinking anyone was going to beat Brock.
Yeah.
But do the work to make it matter. Do the work.
Yeah.
Just having a good match is not why I watch wrestling. It's not because I hope they have a good match. It's because I hope they have a good match. Plus, I want to see who wins.
Right, you want to see the storyline pay off.
Or
in
like
an
someone
interesting
get
way.
injured, right?
Generally, no.
No, not
You
really.
don't really want to see that.
It's usually pretty sad and
Right,
like horrific.
It's usually pretty
that's why I'm
goddamn
watching.
ghoulish
I
when
wanna
it
see
happens.
Sid breaking his
I feel
leg.
like you never
Don't wanna
know.
see
I
that
never
ever
know.
again.
Here's
Off
the-
the
Here's the thing.
second rope. He didn't even jump that far, and his leg gave up.
Who is this?
Sid. When Sid broke his leg.
Oh, I didn't see that. I'd heard about it. I actually was watching the
It's
pay-per-view
awful.
when Owen Wilson.
So were we. Owen Hart died.
They didn't show it.
No,
fortunately,
they did
but,
not.
But it was like it took a real dark turn.
Yeah.
It was me and a bunch of my friends
Yeah.
in high school watching
Yeah.
it, and it took us about probably a solid minute or two before we accepted that it wasn't a work.
Yeah.
Because they just came back on like Owen Hart's been very seriously hurt, and we're
Yeah, they were very upset immediately.
this is
Yeah.
like, oh, is this a bit? And that's the problem with wrestling is
Yep.
when someone's seriously hurt, it takes a while for people to figure out that they're really hurt. I mean,
And they
there's-
kept
There's a
going?
signal that they
Yeah,
can give.
they
But,
did.
Oh, you
They
yeah, it had to. It was like happened in the beginning of the card.
It was like
Was it
towards
like-
the middle of the card.
was
yeah.
it like-
I feel like it was only the first 2 hours, but
That
See,
used
I
to
think
be
here's
everything.
what I think you forget is that it used to be a
Used to
2.5
be like-
hour show.
Yeah.
it used to
It
be
used
like
to be-
maybe 4 hours.
It used to be
Maybe.
you could only watch one baseball game in the amount of time that it took to watch a wrestling pay-per-view.
Were they like doing their bits while kind of crying and like calling their wives at the same time? Like
I mean, they did the rest of the
with The
show.
Rock, like,
You can.
calling
It's.
someone a jabroni and looking real sorrowful at the same time.
I don't think
It
Rock
just-
was jabroni yet.
Okay.
Yeah, he was.
I think
It was
he
at,
still-
no, it was after WrestleMania 15.
I
This
know-
happened 2 pay-per-views after WrestleMania 15.
I'm sure.
So he was jabroniing.
He was still
Because
Okay.
WrestleMania 15 is when he
Oh, yeah,
wrestled
yeah.
Was
against
he with the
Stone
Nation
Cold.
of Domination?
Oh, no,
Or
this is after he wrestled
Okay.
Stone Cold. This is after he'd been the corporate champion, and he turned back to the People's Champion.
Yeah.
It was the best era of The Rock. Dave? Oh, man. The best one.
It's not a bad death then. To die and also have The Rock call someone a jabroni.
I got to
in
tell
the
you
same
something.
room,
Let me explain something.
in the same hour.
I think you think that like having fake wrestling characters and this take is the same amount of trolling. It isn't. These are different levels of trolling.
It's an actual man
Like
that died.
right, you're leaping.
I'm just saying this is
you're
his
leaping
life,
way
his
over
career.
the troll
he knew the risks
path here.
Like I'm weighing the I'm weighing the show must go on-ness
Let's
of
move
it.
on. Let's move on.
I'm not no.
Let's move
I
on.
seriously think you might have to cut this, you maniac.
I'm
move on.
saying that the fact that they kept going after this person lost their life was shocking to me.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to think of like would this person would have liked that to happen.
I feel like that's just kind of the business that they.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
that's
part
what
I
I'm-
Came from a long time wrestling.
It's a
Yeah,
live
that's what
theater.
it sounds like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to justify it in my mind so they're not monsters. Like,
Oh,
for
they're all
keeping
Yeah,
it going.
Vince
Vince
is a monster for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he is a monster.
He's straight up a monster. Let's move on.
Yeah. What match are we even on now?
The tag match.
The tag
but-
match.
No, we can move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the
what was the
nothing
third
match.
Third match would have been was that AJ and Daniel Bryan?
No, that
No,
was
that
much
was- that
later.
was towards the end of the card.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing this so we can both.
no,
we
you
need
put
it
it. You
closer
put it into
to
your
us.
shoulder.
I want it.
Stop making me nuzzle you. you
It should be
fucking
close.
maniac.
Then it would have been Ronda.
All right, we can
and
keep going
Sasha.
like that.
Oh, Ronda and Sasha.
Oh, I thought that was a good match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Ronda's best match, I think, up to this point.
Sasha was doing a lot of really interesting stuff in the ring, and for some reason the one that stuck out to me the most, because I've never seen anyone do this, is when she had the hold on Ronda. It was toward the end of the match and she was crawling towards the ropes. She was reaching her leg around and stomping on her hand when
Yeah.
she was trying to grab
Yeah.
the rope. I've
That's
never
actually-
seen anyone do
Yeah,
that.
that was real good.
It's a callback. That one is
Yeah.
to a match she had with Bayley in NXT that only super
know
nerds
that.
know about. But yeah.
Yeah, I just
Sasha-
never saw anyone do that before.
I was like, yeah, you would do that.
I want Sasha to go more full heel. Like, just go. Like, go full heel. Because
She was being heel in the match.
Yeah, but they want. I feel like they still are like, but what about those little girls out there who look up to her? I feel like there's thinking like that.
Give him a Stone Cold to look up to.
Of course,
That's what they're trying-
Of course, give us
Like-
a stone.
That's what they're trying to do with Becky.
Just make him
And
a heel.
She's not a stone cold.
I want more Nikki Cross.
I do too. But
Yeah, I liked her
more-
too. I knew you'd
I
like
want
her.
more
Yeah, I
like
saw
lady
that.
wrestlers who are fucking crazy.
She was
Yeah.
just she
Yeah.
was Lady
There was
Warrior.
the-
I was
there
like,
was the
this
ladies-
fucking Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, there was the sort of punk duo to the Riot Squad.
Yeah.
I knew you'd like that.
Which that's a song by Cockspire.
I'm gonna
which-
tell you something.
So that's pretty neat. But I want more people who are like, I'm out of my fucking mind, like that. It's great.
I said this to my brother, and I wish I'd done it. I was like, I should write down the list of wrestlers that I know Dave's gonna like.
Yeah.
Because I know they won't be anything to do with whether they're good.
No.
It'll be entirely,
Yeah.
do I like their gimmick?
Yeah.
That's important though.
yeah, that is.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I just
Can
wish
I
I'd
tell
written
you
it
one of
down.
my wrestler ideas? Just one.
Of course.
ahead.
I think we've waited long enough.
This one I'm just naming because I only have the bit. So I think it would be named Sunshine. Be a guy or a gal, doesn't matter. Here's what I noticed, because he was talking about the demon. Mm-hmm. All these wrestlers, they do these like dark personas.
Yeah.
A lot of
and
them do.
they're all very frowny. They frown. They frown a lot. And
I understand what the word frown means.
no, but I mean,
going,
okay.
crazy
What I thought would be cool is a wrestler that just smiles no matter what, like constant
no.
smile. No, like when he's like hurt and like, is this one where the
that's
fact
Mick
that they're
Foley.
smiling all the time makes them sinister?
Yeah.
That's
like
it's kind of
over the
Mick, yeah.
top.
That's when he was Mankind, pretty much.
Really?
Except for his mask made it so you couldn't really.
Like no matter what. No, Mankind was still trying to be kind of an edgelord. Like I mean, just like. Is that? I mean, I'm willing to accept that this might be a character that already exists, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you.
could be named Smiles,
I don't want to.
Mr. Smiles, Smile, Miss
I mean,
Smile,
keep
Smile.
keep playing with it. You'll find it.
Okay, this was my. This
Let's
was,
use the podcast for it. Let's use this whole podcast space
Let's not do that.
for you to find
This
the name
one,
of this fucking character.
I didn't have as much time to plan this one as my other one.
What did you do with your time instead? What other things occupied your time? Can I know that?
I'm a busy guy.
Let's hear it.
Like, what do you mean? Like,
What do you mean? What do I mean?
I did
How
other
does that
things. We
question
recorded a
ambiguous
podcast
to you?
before this. I had work to do.
Gone
I had.
very far afield, and I would like to get back to the wrestling.
Tom is
Alright.
doing the right thing. But this isn't over.
I welcome tonight to last as long as Royal Rumble did.
This is like a 5-hour Dave and I like literally on.
I came into this with one mission, and that was to just grab your heels as you try to walk. That's it. That's me
Be
tonight.
dead weight.
Yeah.
Just the kid that goes completely limp when you're trying to put him into bed.
God, I love that you know what you do. I love it so much. I don't care about Ronda Rousey. Tell me why I should care.
I like her.
Okay, tell me why. Don't tell me it's the fucking punk thing because I'm
No, I
I'm
think
getting
it's the
tired of it.
seriousness.
It's, yeah. I think
that. Sorry.
No, I think you're kind of right in that she can contribute something like Brock did when he came back. She can contribute, but the legitimacy doesn't matter into the WWE. So it's hard.
It matters
to make
when
that
it
argument.
translates.
Right.
I like-
Which, with Brock, it definitely did.
Yeah.
She acts like wrestling's real. Like she acts like it really is
Yeah.
really happening more than anybody else.
She's very good emotionally.
Yeah,
in the
when she
ring.
wins a match, it's like she's fucking Rocky. Like it's that where like I love how passionate she is about all of it.
I don't like that she wants to be a fan favorite.
Yeah.
I think that's a big mistake. Like we got her walking down with Joan Jett, right?
Yeah.
And then she's high fiving babies and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, what are you? Are you badass, or are you everybody? Are you Hulk Hogan? Like, what's the deal?
I think Joan Jett was a mistake that they started with.
I disagree. I think that song's great.
Oh, it's a great song.
I think it's good for her.
I'm saying that I think they were still trying to figure out what she was going to be, right? When she first started?
She knew.
They
She's
said
been the same
exactly
thing.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's been Rowdy
right, never mind.
Pipestress the entire time. That's what she's been.
Yeah.
She's just stealing a gimmick with a Joan Jett song.
Yeah. But she can't talk like he could. That's the biggest problem.
Right. I mean, that's
Not
hard.
many can.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
but-
that's the job.
Yeah.
That's the job. I'm not trying to be a dick, but
No, I understand.
wrestling is half wrestling and half amazing mic skills. If you can't do half of the job, you can't main event WrestleMania for long.
Maybe not for not.
How many years can somebody who can't talk headline WrestleMania? 2,
and
3?
keep it interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe two.
Max?
You have to. I mean, there's always been dudes who can't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't stay on top.
Very true.
Right.
They plummet.
Fucking
That's
Warrior.
what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Warrior could talk. I know it wasn't words.
He could talk in a very special way. That's true. He couldn't really work. Is the problem?
Warrior's problem was that he was a coked out maniac.
Yeah. Like he would burn himself out running to the ring.
I was gonna say before I'm. It's a wonder that more wrestling injuries aren't them getting into the ring. Like I feel like
I've
they
got a
wouldn't-
treat for you to watch.
where it's like guys who who are like hitting 50 and running out there and just their bodies are like, are we still doing this? No,
You are
no.
you are describing a video that exists of Vince McMahon running into the ring and catching his knee on the ring apron, and his leg just explodes. And they have to finish the bit with him just sitting down in the
yelling
ring.
at people.
I'm a billionaire.
That's great.
I have a billionaire's knee.
Just look up Vince McMahon's knee, and then you'll probably see
Okay.
this
Yeah.
video.
I gotta tell you something. I would like Vince McMahon would own a special place in my heart if we hadn't elected Donald Trump president.
Oh yeah,
Like it ruins
Yeah.
the whole thing for me.
it does.
Like because
Very
like
much
before
so.
that, he was so wonderful.
Yeah.
Now it's just impossible to separate.
Well,
Yeah.
before that, I could think like, oh, he's doing a bit.
No, I knew it wasn't a bit.
I didn't
but
know.
it didn't hurt anything
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Like it was like
I mean,
yeah.
it's exaggerated, but that's who he is.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't think he does the Vince walk when he goes to a
You don't
meeting.
God, I hope he does.
I think he does the
But
Vince.
would you?
don't
But would you
know.
bet your money against it?
No,
if you,
I
it was
would
like,
not.
here's all your money.
would
Bet
not.
on this or against it. You wouldn't bet.
Because
hope
if I bet against it and then I went to the WWE offices and saw him do the Vince walk into a meeting, it would simultaneously be the best and worst day of my life.
Yeah, he'd look at you and be like, "Did you bet on this?" And then you do it, and you knew.
I wouldn't do this.
I think he gets out of the shower that way.
Yeah.
Like that's
Well, I know I do.
yeah.
Just doing the walk.
Just strutting out of that fucking
yeah.
shower.
Just
Oh,
no
man.
chance playing in the
Yeah.
background.
Oh, talk about all-time greatest wrestling tracks. No Chance in Hell is like an instant crowd killer. No matter when you play it, everyone's like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Like that's the only effect it can ever have. You can't cheer for it. You're like, "Oh." Perfectly designed song.
Oh, man.
Brilliant song. Wonderful. Anyway, Ronda Rousey's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I just feel like I don't. What's she done that proves anything?
nothing. She's just a big name that they push
Yeah.
to get people to watch.
Yeah.
It's not the first time they've
I'm
done
sure.
that.
Yeah, I'm sure
That's
her
true.
like coworkers are mad at her somewhere.
I don't
Like
think they are. I'm sure they get
I
it.
don't know. I'm sure there's people who bust their ass to get to a certain place, and she just sort of
Right.
they just sort of let her in. Mind you, she busted her ass to do an entirely different thing.
Sure.
I watched her by happenstance when she was doing UFC. I was like hanging out with a lady friend who was interested in UFC, and like she made me watch one of those matches. I was like, all right, I don't want to watch this, and it happened to be the one where Ronda Rousey, like in 9 seconds, took a person down. So I like her. I'm a fan. But
yeah.
like, and it
Yeah,
was she was
no.
incredible. But like, I know what wrestling is, and
Yeah.
she's fine.
Yeah.
Right. It's you run the risk of being Steve Blackman
Yeah.
She's better than Steve Blackman.
or Ken Shamrock.
Ken Shamrock is
She's
kind
a
of...
little better than Ken Shamrock.
I think she's
about
almost
where
I think
she's
she's
at, though.
about Shamrock.
Yeah.
A little more.
Shamrock could really yell though.
She's. I think you're right. She's definitely better at in-ring emotion than Shamrock is. Shamrock has on emotion.
Yeah, he has steroids.
And that's screaming maniac.
Yeah.
The world's most dangerous man.
God, I forgot all the fucking nicknames.
Yeah.
Ken Shamrock, I never super cared about.
Oh no, it was hard to because
Yeah.
it was like, yeah, I know he's like awesome in real life, but he's super boring. And same thing with Steve Blackman. It's like you guys are just boring in wrestling.
I think part of my deal with Ronda Rousey is that like there's subtle admissions in her character and the way they're doing things with her that they don't know what they're doing and that they're not confident in her.
Right.
One of them is, and you're all gonna think I'm a dick, and I don't care. Her makeup. Her makeup is wrong. It's like it's the wrong thing.
She's very Black Swan.
It's dumb. Yeah, exactly. It's Black Swan, and it's like, no, you know what? She should come out no makeup. She should come out there the way she came out in UFC.
Like she's a fighter.
Cold face, like in a hoodie, and she beats the fuck out of people.
Yeah.
That's what we want Ronda Rousey to be. Not a
Come out like
strange,
Goldberg.
right?
Yeah.
Right. Not a strange like Hulk Hogan inspired punk eyeliner, like
Yeah.
when you said,
barbarian haircut. It's like what is it?
Yeah.
You know?
When you said before Lady Hulk Hogan, though, like I was immediately aroused. I say it looking right in the eyes. No, like
And
no,
you
but
refuse
that's
to look away. That's
yeah.
what I hate about it.
No, I wasn't
Can't look
aroused.
away.
Well, no, I was aroused mentally. Like
mind
that's a
blowing. I
great
know what
that's
you
a
got.
great idea. When the moment you said Lady Hulk Hogan, I was like, oh,
They've
that's
tried
great.
it. They've tried
Yeah.
it. Listen, Hulk Hogan is a very problematic human being.
Oh,
But
yeah.
one thing you
Yes.
can never take away from him is that he was the most charismatic person ever in wrestling at that point.
He
At that
also
point in his life.
made
Yeah.
some of the best bad movies. He's made some terrific bad movies.
And
They're
he
not
made
boring.
Thunder in Paradise.
Yep.
Yep.
How many times, have you ever seen WrestleMania 3?
No.
I honestly feel like, as a consumer of entertainment, you owe that to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
WrestleMania 3 is like...
That's when he fights Mr. T, right?
No, that's
when he
the
wrote-
one
it's
Andre.
Andre the Giant.
Oh, right.
It's like all-time great. Like the
I'm
coolest
about
thing
to
about it
say,
is... The coolest thing about it for people who haven't watched it is that like Andre the Giant is a person who like you could not tell what to do.
Yeah.
In the sense that like if he didn't want to do it, there was nothing you could do to make him do it.
Right.
So like when he agreed to lose, I think for the first time ever in WrestleMania 3, I think it was his first loss.
It was the first one in like 15 years.
It was
or
a
something
long
like
time.
that.
He hadn't lost in decades. And like he agreed to lay down for Hulk Hogan. They weren't sure he was going to do it. That's awesome.
I need to share this because I just had a
You're Mr. T and Hulk
Is this
Hogan.
another
really-
goddamn character?
No, sorry. I don't want to derail it, but
Yes, you do.
this is a shame that I need to share. I only just realized just now that Mr. T is a wrestler, isn't he? He wrestled, didn't he?
No.
Yes.
No, okay, only once?
Right.
Okay, that's why I felt like a real dummy, because I was like, oh, it all makes sense. Like, the man named Mr. T who dresses like that. Okay, so he's not a wrestler.
Shockingly, no. He's
So,
just,
okay.
That's just who
I'm,
he is.
I'm
He's just a
going
guy
back.
doing that.
I'm going back to my original shock, because it was like the universe just like aligned, and I was like, oh, he's a wrestler. Oh my god.
Nope.
No.
No. He's just a guy that did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just a guy ruling your world, man. Like, what do you got against T?
Nothing. It was just like, who does that? Who has that kind of confidence?
T.
Fucking T
Mr.
does
T.
it.
Call
He's got a
himself that.
feather cascading out of his ear. He's the best. He's got a mohawk into his 70s. He
Yeah.
had a mohawk forever.
Yeah.
What a great,
Like,
what
a
a
mohawk's
brave
a
man.
mohawk is a 5-year journey most of the time. Not for him. It was generational for him. What match are we on?
Sasha and Ronda.
Sasha and Ronda, which was good.
Yeah, was good.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Sure.
Sasha's a very good wrestler.
Sasha's good.
Yeah.
I hate that they... Sasha is one of like 4 or 5 characters to me they mismanaged. Big time.
Yeah.
Like her, Braun Strowman, I think they mismanaged. Seth Rollins, I think they mismanaged. Bray Wyatt, I think they mismanaged. Kevin fucking Owens, they've mismanaged.
Yeah.
I love Kevin.
I love him. He's the. Don't get me started. I can't get started.
He'll be back soon.
Not soon enough.
Yeah. It's true.
What was the next match? Did they go into the Rumble?
Yeah, that one, the one after
Ladies'
that,
Rumble.
I believe, was the Women's Rumble.
The Women's Rumble was delightful.
Yeah.
It's very good. Everything I do, you cracking up over there.
You know what you're doing. Every time you're like me. Innocent old Daver. It's like nobody's buying it.
Dave is perched next to this microphone like a gargoyle.
What am I? How else am I supposed to be next to this gargoyle?
It's not that. It's the fucking gentle curve of your smile that you refuse to let go so that I can use this microphone without shame.
Guy can't exist over here. Can a guy live?
Can I live?
Yeah.
The Women's Royal Rumble was the best part of this pay-per-view.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it definitely highlights, to me anyway, that it seems like the women's roster just has more colorful, interesting characters.
Yeah.
I see now. I know that isn't true because because I know how many good male wrestlers there are.
I'm not saying good. I'm saying as a casual fan who sat down and watched, like,
I know.
I got lost in an ocean of white dudes with beards
Yes.
who are all just their names.
I agree with that. That there's not a lot of diversity for sure on
Yeah.
the male side of the roster, and that is a problem. And there's more of it seems on the women's side. I think what we're watching is that they care about the women's roster and are more worried about it than they care about the men's side.
I think.
Which, I mean, I'm not judging that. Like,
No.
I think the men's side
completely
seems
understand that.
totally thrown together to me.
It's all new, right? All the women's stuff is
Fairly
new.
new.
It's they have decided in the last 5 years that this is really half of wrestling.'re really
Right.
going to do half of
Yeah,
wrestling.
and so I think a lot of the wrestlers are probably more excited. It's all more new. They have something to prove. And so I think I just get more excitement out of them. I also generally like the wrestling moves more.
I don't like the wrestling moves more.
I like them
but
more 'cause
I
they're-
see that.
They're flipping around and shit. They're crazy. They're
I
fucking
feel like
crazy.
did you see Rey Mysterio?
Which one's that?
He was the little
guy
guy
in
with
the
the luchador with the mask.
Yeah, he was fine, but there's more of that on the women's side. What? You give me eyes. Like he was good, but like
Yeah, Rey
seeing
Mysterio's fine.
Rey Mysterio's fine. He's only the greatest thing you've ever seen do anything acrobatic, but he was fine.
Did you see that old guy do the backflip? That was
Yeah, we talked about it. I remember.
Yeah, I know. That's the best acrobatics.
I don't know that Rey Mysterio did anything super impressive.
Not this time.
Seeing an
He
old
didn't
guy
really do
do a
much this time.
backflip
Yeah.
is impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the most. It's more who it is doing it.
The Women's Royal Rumble reinforced for me that there are only 2 or 3 wrestlers they have on that roster who can drive the emotional moments. They don't have that many that can do it.
Yeah.
Charlotte is absolutely number 1.
Yeah.
Like, because she is not afraid to lean into looking like a crazy person.
Yeah.
Which I love. Number 2, Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss is incredible at that. Like, she's so good at a close-up. Feels like she knows when that camera's on her immediately.
I think you just have to assume that it's always on you.
Well,
Unless-
not a lot of them are capitalizing like Alexa Bliss is. Alexa Bliss is
She plays
perfect.
the back row a lot
Yeah.
of times.
Oh,
and
she's
just
so
fantastic.
good.
Yeah.
So good.
Again, that stuff on the apron where she's choking her with her boot.
I think it's more that
Stands
she
up
just
on
gets.
the fucking choke trip to the apron. I was just like that. It looked. There was so much characterization. It was like that just
Yeah.
looks like mean.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
wrestles with
Yeah.
disdain for
Yeah.
the other opponent.
Yes,
Yeah.
she communicates things like disdain, not like I'm a bad guy and I hate you.
Right.
Which is what most of the wrestlers do. She's like disdainful. There's only a few wrestlers who could do that emotion. Like Daniel Bryan, that's another one. He can do that kind of shit. But like Alexa Bliss, mega talent as an actor. I don't know how great she is as a wrestler, really, but. And I'm trying to think if there was even another one that was in that match. Becky Lynch is getting there.
Yeah.
But she wasn't in it until later. And like the rest of them's like, I don't know yet.
Becky's character right now is kind of one note. Like she went
Yeah.
from one thing to now she's just doing one other thing.
But you care, so
Right.
it matters.
Right. And but they need to capitalize. They need to actually push her momentum at WrestleMania, because if she loses to Ronda at WrestleMania, then she's done. Like that's it for this character for now, I think. But I think she could go farther with it, but I don't know. I've been watching it since SummerSlam, so she needs to add dimension to it.
Who was the one I really enjoyed the Harley Quinn looking one that
knew
came
you were
up and
gonna
was
like it.
immediately
I knew you were
taken
gonna
down.
like that.
Well, I liked it because like I didn't like the character. She came up and was just
She had a
like,
blue
"Look at
tongue.
me." Yeah, and I was just like, "Oh no, let's not do this." And then the show agreed.
She was one of the Riot Squad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't even know her name.
Liv Morgan.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a good. That was a good. on and off. I like that.
I just want to make my pitch to all the wrestling people who I know are listening to this podcast. If Carmella is not your main event person next year, you're making a mistake. She's main event. She has it. She absolutely has it to me. Like, she is a perfect heel. So good at it.
And the thing is, she was so good at being a heel that when she turned face, the crowd came with her, and now they love her.
Right, but it doesn't. It's like let her go.
Yeah,
Let her
do what
you
she's gonna
reward
do.
that stuff. You don't wait until the spreadsheet says it's time.
Yeah.
You let her do it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know?
Like it was Stone Cold.
Right. Well, Stone Cold was a force you couldn't destroy.
Right, but it was very much a thing like, well, shit, they like what he's doing.
They used to just know better. It's
Yeah.
like when they made The Rock the champion as corporate champion, it was perfect. It was exactly what we were ready for. You know, it was like one step further than we dared to hope, and then they turned on us.
Yep.
We were all so disappointed. We're like, waiting, please be good again. And then he did. Oh, God, Dave, the day he turned good. What a wonderful day it was.
I like it when you embrace me.
There was some hugging going on. All right,
stuff.
so what happened after the
Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles had a match, and everybody was so tired that it didn't matter how good it was or wasn't.
They were in the death spot as far as in wrestling.
Why did they
terminology.
waste those
I don't
two
know.
on that?
Who was the? All right, I can.
Yeah, ready for the gimmick?
I picture Daniel Bryan. I don't remember. Oh yeah, and yeah. What the fuck? What's up with Daniel Bryan?
Give me a real question. Give me a human question. I don't know what to
What's
do
up with him? Do you mean like his
Did-
gimmick or what?
Didn't he become? Last time I saw him, I think he got a little evil or so. It was like last year, and it feels like a lot has happened.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody gave you the mic and you weren't ready for it.
No,
You're
I
like trying to
wasn't.
figure out what to do with
I
it.
thought it would be enough to say what's the deal with Daniel Bryan.
Okay,
I actually
so
have a comment and a question.
yeah, just to help for the audience who's not enjoying Dave's mirthless face.
They're all enjoying it.
That's what they came here for.
Daniel Bryan's doing a gimmick that it is basically shitty left wing
Yeah.
activist.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
That's kind of delightful.
It's amazing. It's like, you know why it's amazing? Because like if you just wrote down what he was saying, I'm like, I think I agree with that guy. Of
course
like
you do.
almost all of it. Like
Everything he's saying, like the ideas of it, is just like, yes.
The baby boomer stuff he's saying is
It's
like
fantastic.
It's like,
Is he going
oh.
after baby boomers?
Yeah.
He said to Vince McMahon, like, you're the reason we're in this mess because your generation screwed our generation,
Yeah,
took
he's
all
not
of our
wrong.
stuff.
And
I
they
know it's so
sue
him. No, but I think. See, now I know we're not going to be on the same side of this. I feel like you and I are going to be on different sides of this.
Him.
I think that this is a rare moment of insight from somebody. I don't unless it's coming from Vince. If it's coming from Vince, it's like, well, then you stumbled on something great. But if it's coming from somebody else, it's a rare moment of insight of like, yes, the WWE is definitely mostly a right-wing company, right? Like,
Of course.
They have some left-wing stuff.
Linda
Right.
McMahon is in Trump's
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is a legit critique. I think it's it's the only smart critique I've heard in a long time against liberals.
Yeah. I think
Right? From the right? It's like the most smart take on liberals from the right I've seen.
What's
Have
the
you seen a
take?
better one?
What's the critique?
That despite
look
their
like
points
Jim Henson.
that there's a cruelty and an entitlement and a discourtesy that's underlying most of their
I guess the
comments.
question
and
is-
I think with Daniel Bryan at least that is true.
I think it.
Yeah.
And Daniel Bryan's the one that was asking for a heel turn, so I think
was
this
right
is
to do
coming
that.
from him. Yeah.
Well,
I think,
he had that's a fucking great idea.
Yeah.
Very good idea.
I think he knew exactly how he wanted to do this.
I
Because
don't-
he really is, like, in real life, he's a vegan, he does all this stuff.
Sure.
But I'm sure he's heard other vegans talk so much about being a vegan and, like,
This is made by somebody who understands the difference between principles and behavior.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what's so good about it. It's like every principle he's outlining is like, well, he should be a hero.
Yeah, that's true.
But everything he says, he's an asshole. Like,
I think
he treats
there's-
people like shit. Like,
There's something to creating like a straw man that might actually like link. Like I thought of this with Jon Stewart when he was wrestling, is because he's not someone that I think wrestling fans would normally be a fan of. So I liked him kind of bridging that gap, and even if he has to be like come in and be like, I'm the big city liberal and I'm going to tell you what to do.
well, that's the thing is like usually that's the
It's like-
version of satire that you get from wrestling, right, is like, I'm Mr. IRS here to take your money. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Erwin R. Shyster.
this is way more in tune with
Yeah.
with where we are culturally than I've ever seen. From
I do
wrestling.
think though it works better with Jon Stewart than with Daniel Bryan because
Oh, I
Daniel
don't think
Bryan,
so.
Jon Stewart is an opportunity for people to look into him to like for people who weren't into the Daily Show to be like, oh, this Jon Stewart guy is all right. He's making fun of himself, and it gives you like Daniel Bryan is already within this bubble.
Yeah, Jon
So-
Stewart is a toothless satire, whereas Daniel Bryan is one that you actually have to think about it. That's
Well-
what makes him interesting to me. I watch
Right.
and I'm like, this is every single person I've shown this to, and they're all liberals. I don't have any like super Republican friends, but like every person I've shown, they're all like, oh, this is so smart and good. Why are they saying that? Because they know that it's a smart critique. They know that. It's fucking awesome. Like I love it.
I also think it's also just getting the mostly conservative WWE to boo a guy.
Yeah.
Well, but see, I'm not sure if that's true. I that's the part of me is like, I hope that's not what it is. I hope that's not what it is, but that's not how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think a lot of the crowds now, or parts of the crowds now, are smarter, and they know when to boo a bad guy,
Yes.
and they know when to cheer a good guy. And I think that's kind of what's happening with Daniel Bryan, because he is the ultimate, like, smart fan, or smarks. He's their person, and he's been their person forever. And so they're going to go along with him whenever he tries to do something.
That is something I did want to address from the last time we attempted this podcast. I forget what we watched.
I think it was WrestleMania.
WrestleMania?
SummerSlam?
No,
it might
it was
have been
SummerSlam. It was one that we didn't do the podcast about.
Yeah.
But it was one thing that made me one of the most shocking things for me from that one that I just want to bring up is at one point they forgot to cut away at the pay-per-view, and the guy who had just has his
Jeff
ass
Hardy.
handed.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
that it?
Yeah.
He's laying there and he gets up and he started clapping along with the audience, and I realized like it was like, oh, the audience is like they're letting the audience in on it.
They don't let him
Between-
in as much as you think.
Okay, yeah, because I did like that, because it is true is that if I were in the audience and Daniel Bryan started yelling about the environment, I'd be like, boo, fuck you, because I would like know instinctively
Yeah.
to be
call and response.
part of the fucking show. And so like I get that it's that thing of like it's realizing that the audience, they aren't dummies, so they know what they're there to do, specifically like to boo the bad guys and cheer
Yeah.
the good guys.
It seems too on point for it to be accidentally.
I more think of the people watching it at home. It might not be as clear. I don't know.
Are you sure? I feel like it is clear. I honestly, like, who's confused about it? Well, who's confused? Are
Yeah.
you confused? I'm not confused.
It's not going to change anybody's
yeah.
opinion either.
The
way.
only thing that's confusing is, do they understand this is smart,
Right.
or are they doing this accidentally?
Yeah.
The intent is what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I
because you
guess,
outlined
does he
the
talk
other-
about? Oh, sorry. What does he specifically? Does he talk about the environment? I just
Yeah.
whipped that out.
That's one of the things.
That's-
But it's all the left wing talking points. It's like baby boomers of
Right.
the younger generations.
I think it's
True.
I think
It's
I think the thing that bugs me is the left stuff. That's great. Fucking more people on the left making fun of themselves. That's great.
well,
The
that's
en-
not what this is.
The
but
environment
fair
is something that's like we really need to talk about. Like the environment, that shouldn't be a left talking point. You know what I
enough.
mean?
Sure.
And so the more and more that gets like lumped into the left, the worse, because then it becomes like, yeah, that isn't an ideological debate.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And that's well said.
But the general idea,
Nonetheless,
the general
if
idea
you're
is
making
fine.
a wrestling character, and you decided, how can I spear millennials / political activists in this time period? How do you do it better than this? Honestly, how do you do it better than this without it being like dumb? Like without it being the Iron Sheik.
Why can't it
You know
be
what I mean?
dumb?
Like, no, but
Yeah,
seriously, like,
no.
but like that's what they used to do. Like,
Yeah.
the Iron Sheik is the low bar for what they used to do, or like Sergeant Slaughter when he turned Iraqi.
He turned Iraqi.
That's
I
what
fucking remember that.
Who doesn't? He burned a flag. He burned our hearts.
They should do though. They should do
here
like
you
a
go.
millennial wrestler, with the bun and like the
They've done
beard,
that. They've done
and
that.
his name could be Bone Broth. That would be perfect. Because you know about Bone Broth, it's all the rave. It's all the
You
rave.
won't lean
It's
away from the
great.
microphone so I can respond to this. Get the fuck
No,
away
and
from
it
the
would be like a
microphone.
badass name, but it's also a millennial name. It'll be great.
There's no millennials named Bone Broth.
Bone broth is a big millennial. Millennials love bone broth. Are you kidding me?
Big trend, bro. It's a big
Have you
trend.
never had bone broth?
I
I'm gonna move on.
Yeah.
I think we should move on. I think we should move on.
But I tell me why I'm wrong. I want to hear because I can tell you have like
Because-
disagreements. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Because
Bone broth.
the intent in WWE has never been more than just here's a straw man for a thing most of our audience doesn't like. so you
Totally.
can boo.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's all it's ever been.
yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is
So I'm
I
trying
don't.
to think
I
of
don't
an
see.
exception to that.
I don't see how Daniel Bryan is any different from doing a hippie character like a decade ago. That's just like you saying all the stuff that right wingers hate, and you boo the shit out of him. Like I don't see how he's any different. from
Maybe
I think-
because it feels just way better than those characters ever felt.
I think it's because he's actually has convictions about some of the things that he's saying too.
It could, and maybe the difference is that if it's what you're saying is true, is that Daniel Bryan's doing it and not
Yeah.
Vince. Maybe that's the difference.
I don't know. I think it's almost worse because I think it should be cartoony. I don't think I think it should be the version that doesn't have a good point because Vince McMahon, he at least like if he is that what he is, he knew to like ham it up and be like the most cartoony version of that.
Right, he's always known he's the bad
And so
guy.
I don't. Again, I don't
think
mind.
the
I don't mind liberal bad guy, but I think they should be like over the top and name Bone Broth and bring
Stop with the Bone Broth. I've had it. I've had it with Bone Broth.
They're like service animal and insist on it no matter what.
Okay, I'm done. You got your thing in.
like-
Wait.
They should vape.
I want to make one contrasting
I'm not
point.
done.
Well, most of the roster vapes non-ironically.
Yeah.
Like
I would.
Randy
I would,
Orton absolutely vapes.
fucking yeah, he does.
Oh yeah, obviously.
That
So
dude's
wait,
a vape king.
yeah. Why isn't he like breathing vape out of his nostrils at all times? Briefly, I would say that in general that would be true, but in this environment where things are as hostile as they are,
Yeah.
they have to make a satire that is actually appealing enough to somebody on the left that they would want to watch it. And I think it being closer to home and smarter, maybe this is smug, I don't know, makes it more interesting. 'Cause I'm less interested in like the IRS
Yeah.
version of a liberal, because then it's like I don't need Vince McMahon's opinion on liberals because fuck him. But I do want Daniel Bryan's
Yeah.
version of it because it's like, yeah, there's a little bit of truth to this. Like they got their finger on something true. It's not the talking points, it's the attitude, and it's. I like it. I like that.
Yeah.
I think great. I'm all for it.
I don't think that subtlety is there. I think you're bringing that to it.
I don't think that's true. I really don't. I think it is there. But
Alright.
I don't. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm just trying to make it. Maybe I'm trying to enjoy my wrestling. I don't know.
I love
yeah.
Daniel Bryan though.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan's great.
But didn't we all have the same reaction to it? Didn't we all go, "This
think
is
so.
amazing"? Was there a single person who was like, "This is offensive" or dumb?
Well, the
I haven't
reason
actually seen any of it.
I was
so you're just sitting here saying bone broth
He-
just
he
to troll
didn't-
us?
He didn't do any of that shit at the Royal Rumble.
They had a whole package. They had a whole
Yeah,
video package.
my this is amazing reaction was the fact that he was saying things like, yeah, the environment's coming to an end because of people like Vince McMahon, and like these are the reason we're all in this shit right now, and people are booing him for it. That's why I was saying this is amazing. These people are
That's
booing
not
him
how I feel about it. That's
Where,
interesting.
what video?
for saying this.
Like,
And I
shit.
like it for that reason.
I like it
too.
for that reason too. I don't find it troubling. Do you find it troubling as a like? Because what you're describing is like, oh, that's troubling, but I don't find this character troubling. I find him interesting.
I think it's a smarter character for a new generation of like fans too.
yeah.
Because I think wrestling has gone through the full circle of it was just like carny stuff.
Yeah.
And now a lot of the fans
still a little.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's,
There are
that
men-
is
There
still
was a
Fetching-
leprechaun.
There are men fetching pancakes from their
Oh,
unitards.
I want to
Yeah.
talk about that because
Wait, let him finish his point.
Okay.
Before you start
But
your
yeah.
fucking Dave.
But
shit.
I think it has come all the way back around to where now it's kids that were like theater kids or whatever enjoy this live theater. And it's, I don't know, it's because I know a lot of comedians like it. And
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They do. There are a lot of comedians in wrestling.
Oh yeah,
because
for
it is,
sure.
Yeah, like we've discussed the last time we did the WrestleMania podcast, it's buff theater kids.
Yeah.
That's what a lot
It's
of it
just
is.
swole theater kids.
And I think that's why the audience that it has now is more mixed. I think their strongest base is still going to be right-leaning people because that's the kind of entertainment it is a lot of the time.
I
But
don't know. Is that true?
I personally
Definitely
think
its roots, but
Yeah, I was
definitely
going
what
to say
it
the
used to be.
roots.
You're
I'd
right.
say the thing I watched that we're talking about was neutral. Like, I don't remember any of the Daniel Bryan shit. Like, was that?
they played it in the before match vignette to get you up to speed on the
And
feud.
I was probably getting something to eat.
In all the text thread that we had before we went to this event, that we decided to do the thing that
I'm
we're
just
doing
saying
right
that
now.
most of the wrestling I see just in a vacuum, like on its own, seems politically neutral. I know it's
Yeah,
not.
that's
I
the
know,
goal.
yeah,
Right.
I know Vince McMahon isn't, but I think they've always been good about it. Maybe their fans are more right leaning, but I don't think wrestling tends to cater to.
To American politics.
Yeah,
That's true. That is another unique thing about this. Because
Yeah.
like the
it's
examples we
international.
named,
That's the thing.
yeah, the examples we named are all like times America was in a war with a country. So
yeah,
I wonder what other more serious countries are thinking when they see Daniel Bryan doing that, because they do the thing where they show all the different announcers in different languages.
Yeah.
And I assume
Yeah.
they dub it. So there must be other countries watching that and being like, God damn it, America. Like when they're booing the guy talking about climate change.
yeah.
the third guy in the German on the German announce
Yep.
table
Yep.
was the most German looking person
Oh,
I've ever
yeah.
seen.
yeah.
Oh, that was
Like his haircut, his head shape,
Yep.
all of it.
the one.
It's like they just made a German.
Yeah,
they just made it. There it is.
they crafted a German man in a
the one-
mold.
The one I was really curious about, because they kept going to each one, they'd like say something in some weird language, and then they go WrestleMania, and like they were so pumped.
Weird language like Spanish.
You're getting distracted.
I'm not getting distracted. I think you're getting a little
No,
distracted.
but they
bro.
would. Once they panned over to France, I was like, "Oh my god, how
I
is
couldn't
France
believe
gonna
France
fucking
was here.
handle
I
that?"
couldn't
Yeah.
believe that. I was like, I can't see French people watching this.
I think it's French Canada, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I just was like trying to imagine somebody in France watching WWE, and I was like,
Andre
how
was
could that
French?
be happening?
That's true. Andre is French.
But he was here.
Kevin
The
Owens
Canada-
was
yeah.
French
He was
Canadian.
here.
The Canada cancels out the French, so if it's French Canadian,
So you had the same problem I did, because I said that to my brother. I'm like, why
Canadians?
can't I see French people watching this? I'm just very surprised.
like you would like
Sure.
to see French
Yeah.
people watching.
I just
it.
wanna
Yeah,
know,
no, I
was
want
it-
little spy cams in their houses so I can
Yeah.
see them watch it.
I just feel like they would. I just feel like it's the kind of thing that like is just so American and stupid.
Yeah.
That my maybe racist view of French people was like they wouldn't be that interested in it. But I guess I'm wrong.
Let's move on.
Okay, so we can cut all that. I guess.
No, we're not cutting.
We're
anything.
cutting. No, probably not cutting anything.
I mean, I'm editing this, and so far, I'm not going to cut a thing.
all right. What was the next match?
After AJ and Daniel Bryan was Brock and Finn. I liked the match. I mean, it's more work than Brock generally does in a match.
Yeah, I was surprised at how long it was and how many
Yeah.
moments there were in it.
Yeah, he sold for Finn, and that's
Brock is the big nasty dude.
At this point, having
Oh,
watched
okay.
as much wrestling as you've watched,
You should.
Brock Lesnar's like the one
I'm
person
bad
you
with-
should know who he is.
This is I'm bad with names in general, so this is one of those things where, like, if you showed me a picture of him,
He's
I
got
know
the knife
exactly.
tattooed on his chest.
Yeah, okay. I'm
He's the guy
imagining
that
him
looks
now.
like a Rocky
He's
villain.
the boring,
He
the
looks
most
like an
boring
80s
motherfucker.
villain.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
most boringest man on this entire planet.
I thought this was the least boring he was. For me.
Yes. That I've seen him recently that I can remember. Yes,
Yeah.
and it was all because Finn Balor was doing the work.
Yeah.
and Brock sold for him though, so that's
Yeah.
like he
They did
he
some shit.
did his part, but
They did some shit.
Here's my hot take.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
I'm ready.
It's pretty hot. Pretty hot. We shouldn't have another title match until we're ready to lose Brock Lesnar altogether.
Yes.
yeah,
Just
you're right.
like
Because
that
that's right.
title goes off the roster until we're ready.
It's a pointless title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He should wrestle twice a year. He should wrestle at SummerSlam, and he should wrestle at WrestleMania, and he shouldn't wrestle anymore. Like,
Yeah.
we should be watching number one contender matches.
Does he ever lose?
No, that's
It was
why.
a while.
Yeah.
Like
Okay, well, there's a question there. They can choose to
Yes.
lose or not. Why
That is
aren't they
true.
just making him lose?
because Vince
they're
loves
making
Brock
business.
Lesnar, I'm pretty
Vince
sure.
has always loved
Okay.
big bodied dudes.
Yeah.
Well, who doesn't?
They are delightful in their bulk. I agree with that.
But there's a certain you can tell definitely more in like the 80s and 90s, 80s and early 90s of wrestling. There's a certain look that Vince has always really gone for in a wrestler.
That he gets a business boner for.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
He gets one of those.
Oh, look at the size of that guy. It's the Carney thing.
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
he just likes these mountainous dudes, and Brock is
also
this
Brock
monster.
Lesnar is legit.
Yes,
the guy
he is.
can kill people.
And
But
he's
he can-
very hateable.
Yeah,
He gets a lot of heat.
Why doesn't he
So-
like he can still use them and he can lose?
And that's the best. Well, I mean, the best Brock Lesnar that we got for a little while was non-title Brock Lesnar, or like when Goldberg came back and beat him, and that was the best Brock Lesnar that I think in the last few years since he came back.
Counterpoint. Goldberg makes everything worse. Everything. I call him homeless man Stone Cold because that's what he is. Fuck Goldberg. I'm sorry. There's like 6 wrestling fans listening to this like, no, and I'm gonna hear about it on Twitter. Fuck it. I don't like Goldberg. Fuck Goldberg. He did not make Brock Lesnar better. You know what makes Brock Lesnar better? An actual wrestler who can beat him.
Sure.
Who is that now?
I
that?
think
He's
it's
beaten
going to
everyone.
be Seth Rollins. Is what I think.
Probably. I got another hot take. It is only The Rock is the only person I would believe could get in the ring and beat him.
But then you run into the
Sure.
other problem. Well, I guess if you wanted
The
to have...
Rock can just give it to everybody. Like, here you go. Go wrestle
The Rock.
for it.
It's the people's champion.
Right. Like, I don't have time to wrestle for this, and everybody be like, that's true. See you
true.
in 6
You
years.
don't.
Right now, I think Drew McIntyre though. Is
No,
one guy.
this Drew McIntyre thing. I'm like, he's fine. He's a homeless man's Undertaker. Isn't he?
He doesn't have supernatural powers though.
No, he's just
Like
a
a
Highlander
Barry's homeless
vest
man?
over a beard and long hair.
Yeah, he is just one of the beardy,
You've
White guys.
described so
He-
many guys
yeah.
that I saw.
He
which
has
is also Seth Rollins.
He's incredibly fit.
yeah.
He is an interesting wrestler. I'm not trying to take any of that away. So
Right.
Sid. So was Sid. So was Psycho Sid. So was fucking Diesel. You know, like
Big Daddy Cool.
And guess who I don't care about? Either of those guys. I had to figure out what their names were when I was saying them just now. I don't care about them. Give me Stone Cold, you
really
fucks.
search for it.
Give me a Stone Cold.
Yeah.
We need one.
Yeah, I'll give you one. Just tell me what to
And then
do.
we all quietly waited for it for a second.
I waited for whatever maneuver that was going to be.
What if Stone Cold came in right when I
What if the
said
glass
that?
broke as soon as you said that?
I gotta tell you, it would have been worth it.
Yeah.
This
Oh, yeah.
ass whooping is worth it.
Just take this big smile on your face and he's stomping towards you.
Stomping a mud hole and walking it dry on me.
Oh, fucking Stone Cold. So yeah,
We bring him up 3 times a podcast, and it
least.
always makes us happy. It never stops making us happy.
best. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's the problem, right? Like I
Yeah.
said earlier in the podcast, I already assumed Brock was going to win, so my interest in this match already was diminished.
It's I said it already. Finn Balor cannot come out in a match against a better opponent and not be the Demon. If he does that, then it's not legit. Or he needs to retire the Demon altogether, and then like 3 years from now,
Yeah.
it comes back.
Yeah.
You know, like it needs to be some Naruto shit. Where like Naruto was the 9-tailed fox,
Yeah.
and then we forgot about it for a few years. Then it came back at a moment of desperate need.
Yes. Yeah, I do.
That's right. I pulled an anime reference on this fucking wrestling podcast.
Yeah, you did. You master. I think
That's some
the
Hokage shit. You like that?
ooh. I think the last thing is the men's rumble, right?
Men's Rumble was the last match.
The last
right.
thing is, by the way, usually the best match of the year. Every year.
Yeah.
This year it was not.
No.
So can they legally serve pancakes? Because it's technically they're serving pancakes.
They're not selling them.
Yeah, but the people are. I mean, some asshole is eating those pancakes in the
That's
audience.
probably true.
And you shouldn't eat those pancakes. Those are
Can I see your
pants.
phone? Did you
pants
write this down?
pancakes.
Did you write this
No,
question
I
down?
didn't actually.
I want to see if you wrote it down.
My only final note is my last wrestler idea. No, but
Can they serve pancakes as Dave is typing that?
is that
As he's watching
technically
wrestling, he's typing
is
on
that
his phone.
technically like food code?
Also, you don't know that those are real pancakes.
That's true.
He stuffed one in the guy mouth. Yeah,
Seem like they
Crumble away.
are.
All right.
but if they're definitely like pancake like
Yeah.
because that's worse because if they were just got some like intern to make something that can be technically edible but pancake like. That's I don't know what that is.
I feel really, really bad for Big E that he has to carry that shit around in his body.
In his tights, yeah.
I feel
Like, it's
bad
like,
for the
what?
kid scarfing the sweaty pancake.
Nobody forced a kid to do that.
No parent should be letting their child
I think
eat.
the energy of the moment.
Peer pressure.
Yeah, I think if I caught one of those pancakes, I would naturally think to eat it.
Just immediately stuff it into your face.
yeah, that's the first thing you do.
like you're a rat stealing cheese.
Yeah.
The only way out of the situation is in.
So I just think someone's going to get sick.
It's probably already happening.
Okay.
Sure. I don't remember most of this match. I remember a lot of people disappearing into each other
Yeah, a lot of white dudes with beards.
as a casual fan.
Yeah, we keep saying white dudes with beards, and that keeps being true.
Some of them
but
were
also,
tan.
it's not even that as much to me as it is like none of them do anything.
Right.
Right,
What
like-
distinguishes this character?
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they're
There's
just
so
names.
many characters
Yeah.
that are just their names.
Yeah.
And that's it.
They had cool little graphics that floated in the air.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They've
They
been-
were- a lot of the graphics were cooler than them.
I thank you for bringing this up because I was passionately angry about this the entire time.
Well,
Those
they didn't-
graphics were horrifying.
They were pretty bad this
They
year.
were
Yeah, they
horrifying.
pretty bad.
There was only one that looked good, Dave. I have
one?
to like basically put my arm around you like it's a 50s date to do this fucking point. Ember Moon, and I'll tell you why Ember
that
Moon's
fucking
that moon looked
moon.
great.
Yeah.
You know why it looked good? This is like a little sneaky note because it was the only one that was shadowed correctly. The lighting was
makes
correct on the object. It fucking made me so furious to watch these stupid
also
3D
like-
graphics, and they didn't put shading on them.
Yeah.
So they're clearly not there. It's like
Right.
just put shading on them, and they look like they're there.
yeah. I wouldn't have
true.
thought they were there either way.
That is an accurate critique.
But you would have accepted it as part of the
Yes.
presentation,
Right.
and it wouldn't have been like that. Looks like a floating ass. You know,
That would have been a great one.
Just a big old ass.
Right,
A
just
floating ass.
Billy Gunn comes out.
that was a missing person. Why didn't Billy Gunn come out?
Oh, man.
How would you have cheered if you'd heard "I'm an ass man"? Would you have cheered for that?
I would have definitely sat up.
I think I might have cheered. I think I might have.
Maybe.
I'd be like, what?
I really like Badass Billy Gunn. I liked him. Can't recommend that song, but I can recommend him.
Ass man.
Right. Who did you think was missing from the Royal Rumble, Dave? That isn't your characters, just people you would have wanted to see.
Like wrestlers or anybody?
What a wonderful question.
Sure.
Wrestlers. Let's start with the obvious answer.
I don't know. Like just I kept waiting. I don't know wrestlers.
Right.
So I just kept waiting for something interesting to show up. Because that's the thing, is every time they do the countdown, with the women's one, it was like, oh, what's going to be the fucked up thing that happens next? There was always some crazy character, and they would always let that character kind of do something fun immediately. And this one, every time they did the countdown, I was like, what's next? And I started getting to that point where I'm like, I don't care.
It's another fucking
Because yeah, it was
barbarian.
just another fucking guy. With some shitty song and like whatever, man.
Just some song by
That was the thing. The moment when that final guy came out and then what's her name just started beating the crap out of him, I was like, yes, something. This is something.
Yeah.
That's a valid critique.
Yeah.
I think it's weird that we didn't see some just major players we haven't seen in a while.
Pete Rose.
Oh,
The
Pete Rose,
gobbledygooker.
can we please?
Yeah.
Barry Bonds comes out. Thank you. Instead of the Hall of Fame, he wins the Royal Rumble. Would have
Yeah.
loved it. Or Vince McMahon comes out.
Yeah,
Why not?
Vince McMahon strutting down the ring.
No, but for real though, how can we not have Bray Wyatt? How is
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt not wrestling right now? Is he injured?
He was, as far as I know, he was ready to come back because Eric Rowan, I think, went out at the same time, and he came back for Daniel Bryan's match. So I don't know. I don't know why they didn't bring back Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt is all-time biggest fumble by WWE for me. All time. Killer gimmick, killer wrestler.
He was great. Yeah.
killer performance. Everything about this guy is great. They booked him wrong.
Yeah.
Now he's not even in the show and everyone's forgotten him.
Yeah. I didn't
Instead-
even realize. I just assumed he wasn't wrestling
Instead,
anymore.
we pulled up 6 NXT guys. Some of whom are cool. Like, I mean, all of them are interesting in one way or the
Yeah.
other. Not the ones I would have wanted to see.
Right.
Velveteen Dream. Thank you. Can we get him the fuck up immediately?
Yes.
Velveteen
Yes, please.
Dream?
Yeah, he's a wrestler that's kind of like Prince.
Great.
Yeah.
He's kind of like Prince.
Yeah, see,
He's
more
fantastic.
of that
He's
shit.
amazing.
More of that shit.
Dave, he would have your hair on fire.
There's no supernatural element anymore.
That's what Bray Wyatt is
Yeah.
exactly the thing. I was
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. He's like a Resident Evil 7 villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's wonderful.
Yeah, he's great.
Has there been any vampires?
Gangrel!
There was the whole brood.
Yeah.
Did they
Christian
suck
was
blood?
one of
Yes.
them.
No. Yes.
He would
Did
drink
they
a goblet
turn
of
other
blood.
people?
Let me
Did they
tell
turn
you-
other people
Yeah.
into vampires?
Yes.
Why
Gangrel
did they-
used to come out with a chalice full of blood and spit it before every match.
Why isn't it just vampires? Like,
Because we only needed a little bit of it. Dave.
yeah, but
And
no,
we got it.
like if they were turning others,
Dave, you're
Did
like one of those
they-
people. It's like I
Hold on.
just ate a cookie. Can I only eat cookies? That's like one of these people you are.
I mean,
Are there other kinds of food
that's a
besides
valid
cookies?
question. No, did they kill the main vampire and then the rest?
No, he's
turned
on the
back?
independent circuit now.
Yeah. He's teaching wrestling at a school that's close by.
All right, but like premise, like the plot wise, how did they get rid of all the vampires?
I'm pretty sure there was just a big fire.
Okay,
I don't know, but I love the idea there was a wrestling fire that just cleared out a
cleared
lot
out all
of
the
problems.
vampires.
Sorry, we don't have the job squad anymore. They died in the fire.
The Mean Street Posse.
Blue Meanie is now an ash heap. Sorry. Okay, Kevin Owens. Anyone? Can we
Yeah.
best wrestler they have, please? Sami Zayn. Where the hell was he? Even like another just bring out Stone Cold, bring out Big Show, whatever.
Triple H.
That's
You know
this
Triple
is-
H?
Triple H, bring out Triple H. Let him come out and
The
wrestle.
Royal Rumble's the time to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Because
Like-
you have 30 spots.
It's not. I'm not mad that they're bringing up NXT guys, but they don't matter in the Royal
Sure.
Rumble at all. Like
Yeah.
one of them will matter, maybe. You
Is
know?
this like? I got the impression this was like tryouts. Like they were putting because they had so many, they could bring out the people who are like don't get to do stuff.
That's a really smart critique because I think that's what they do is they use it as
I
tryouts.
don't mind that though because it's like hey, let's take a look at all the new shit we got, and everybody gets to see it, and they get to see like the audience, like our audience meter machine that we have plugged in responded, like they responded to this person, that person, this person.
Your version of
And
wrestling
then, like,
is
that's the next
your
wrestling.
version of wrestling is like the War Games from Sergeant Bilko. you just
What a
maniac.
reference! I want to watch Sergeant Bilko now.
Good film.
Good
I
film.
watched it recently.
Just take out that hover tank and see how it plays.
Yeah.
Boy, how do I remember that so well? I don't know.
I don't know. You're
It's
you're
a
getting some
great
Sergeant
movie.
Bilko pulls. All right, let's get back to the
Talk about
wrestling.
It is a good.
Bilko.
It is.
Let's get back to the match.
I do think all those guys that I mentioned deserved a spot before Nia Jax did. Can I just say that?
Sure.
There was another point I was going to make.
I think they deserved a spot over No Way Jose for sure because he just came out.
I didn't mind the joke.
Yeah, the joke was fine. But I think Nia Jax, because a lot of fans and like people that watch independent wrestling have been wanting some kind of intergender interaction for a while now.
Okay.
And
we should have that as a regular feature.
right.
We
And
should do it. Why not?
Yeah, and that's why I think that maybe if they continue to do it, then I think the Nia Jax and the Rumble thing will have been important because the crowd popped for it too. So
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Because I was like instantly like, we already saw her
yeah.
today.
I
A
mean,
lot.
I really, I think the gender thing is cool. That was cool, but for me, it was just like the ladies were so much more interesting.
They were more interesting.
That it was just like, sweet. Like,
see-
I know her.
But see, again, maybe I'm just like disguised and old ways of thinking. I don't know. But like to me, I'm like, there's like 100 guys on that roster who I want to see wrestle.
Sure.
And guys who would have made that match interesting. Like I named a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And we'd already seen Nia Jax, and this wasn't a barrier being broken.
Right.
We've seen this before.
Yeah.
China did it like 15 years ago. This was like the third or fourth time it's happened, so
Yeah.
it's not like important. And we have a women's division that we're supporting and is better. So why? What are we doing with this? Am I just being a dick right now? Like
No, I was a little confused by it.
Sure.
it wasn't like it was a storyline.
Right.
Yeah,
because
that
it
was the
wasn't.
most confusing thing. I was like, I just didn't understand the storyline.
And it's not a triumph or anything. Like that's the thing. It's not a like what a moment. Like you know.
Yeah.
In terms of rules, like she would be disqualified, right? Because like they do the first thing where she has to like talk to the guy, like the first lady who sat in for the lady with the leg.
Yeah.
Like
Becky Lynch.
she like talks it out, and the guy's finally like, all right, fine. So it's like, all right, this is legal. But when the other lady comes in and just starts beating like you can't just beat the crap out of someone and take their position.
I mean, it has happened before, but
You can't,
yes.
I mean, apparently that's like R-Truth's whole job. R-Truth's job is basically to come out and almost wrestle. Like that's like what he does now, which is kind of a shame because I like R-Truth.
Yeah, he's good.
I agree. I will say, to soften the blow of all this shit I've been talking on Nia Jax, she looked great in that match. Way better than she did against the women. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. I think
maybe she should just wrestle against men.
she's
Why not?
Yeah.
Sure.
She can.
I'd love to see her beat up Randy Orton
I would too.
with his tiny little face.
With his almost stunner.
I think they should smush them all
diamond cutter.
together.
Yeah.
It is. I will say that GIF war of RKO's out of nowhere. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Is worth
pretty
it.
good.
It's like worth
Yeah.
it. His whole career is worth it because of that one video. Really,
good.
it's amazing. It's I don't know where. Oh, that's another thing. Can we get rid of Jerry the King Lawler? He is bad now.
He was just so clunky in that match, and I know
Yeah.
they do it just for nostalgia and everything, but just
But he's an old
guy yeah.
from Tennessee. Like
When Jerry Lawler isn't sucking up to Mr. McMahon and overtly trying to
screaming about puppies.
and trying to propagandize us for the sake of Vince McMahon against JR's moral indignation. I don't know what he's on the planet for.
Right.
Like I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he doesn't have anybody to play off of anymore.
Yeah.
It's like-
Just they were like the two. The idea of JR and Lawler as these incredibly biased,
Yeah.
like moralizing announcers.
Couldn't be like they're magnetically opposed.
Right? How are they even friends? It's impossible that they are friends. I don't know if I agree with you, King. Man, old things are
Like
better.
the tapestry of human emotion they went through each show, they
Yeah.
would never be able to sit down at a dinner together.
What man could paint it?
There's people in there. I bet you like this, King. Like you don't.
There used to be people. Ah!
Yeah. You don't accuse a man of that and then just like have a burger with him. Like,
So now comes the point where I feel like this point, I've been sitting on this one for a while. Can we just give Samoa Joe the title already and make him the best
He was
wrestler?
great.
He was
Yeah, he is
far
great.
and away the best person they had in that Royal Rumble. Far and away.
It was great because he came up there and he was just having fun, having a great time, and didn't seem worried about anything, and was just slamming motherfuckers.
He's
he was
so good.
He was
is.
great.
just slamming dudes.
Yeah.
Let him have the title.
Yeah.
Let him have it.
Yeah.
Who's got it that needs it? Give him both titles. Give him all the titles. Like, give
even
every
need-
one of them to him.
I don't even need him and other like it could just be him up there with sacks of flour, just flinging them around, having fun. I would watch the shit
Why
out
do
of
you always
that.
like dirt with you? Like he just needed some kind of dirt.
Something that was a human analog. It could be dead pigs, but that would be kind of dark.
Could be.
Slamming
Yeah.
dead pigs. Just a 15-minute match.
Yeah,
and
just
like
him fighting.
mid-card match, he just
Be,
comes out and
it'd be
starts beating the shit out of dead pigs.
Pig drop 2019. Every year there's another pig drop. Where
It's
they
just like a test your might level on
Yeah.
freaking Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat.
it's a bonus round.
they drop them from the ceiling.
Right.
How many can he slam?
Yeah,
Scooping him up and
or like a cannon. They like shoot a cannon of pigs at him.
like a t-shirt gun full of pigs.
It didn't have to be just him. It could be
We do have extra pigs. we could get rid of all these pigs.
we have a glut of pigs.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so many pigs in the WWE.
Yeah. But seriously, tell me why Samoa Joe shouldn't be champion. Make
I
the
can't.
case.
I don't know.
I think it's just because Vince doesn't like him enough. I think it's
But
because
why?
Yeah, conspiracy.
Like
Maybe
he has to be
Vincent's
seen.
wife.
Could be. Maybe not enough dead pigs. Maybe that pig idea is the thing that puts him over. No, but like Vince is watching the same thing I am.
right.
There's only one other person who fits in his category, and that person is Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Like they're basically the same, but Joe's a little younger and a little smugger in a good way, and a little bit, and we haven't seen it. Samoa Joe's like we haven't really seen it. You know,
Yeah.
like he's a unique style, and I don't know what the fuck are they doing?
So is he newish?
No,
He felt
a
like
couple
he-
years.
Yeah,
The
he
last
felt
couple
like-
of years. Yeah.
Oh, okay. He felt like he'd been around for even longer, just because of that fucking confidence. He was great.
Well, he's been wrestling for 15 years.
all right, there it is. Yeah,
Well, they all have though.
Yeah,
Right.
a lot of them.
All these guys start when they're 18, and then they get into the WWE when they're like my age.
right.
You know, like. Like your career starts at 40.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
it's weird.
crazy.
that
It
that's-
makes each one of those moves even more thrilling. Just like my bones could just powder. They could just break any moment now. So yeah, that's a show.
Can I share my final wrestling?
Yes, please
idea?
share your
Yes.
final
Yes,
wrestling
please.
idea.
All right, I've named him Time Brad. Time Brad.
Okay.
And
You don't just get a free laugh.
he's
you gotta earn
well,
this one.
I hoping for awe. This is not laughter. Do not laugh at my idea, Adam. He's all right. The idea is you play the long game. He only plays every like 10 to 15 years. He only shows up because he's a time traveler, and you have different people play him. But you do have like sometimes he's old, like sometimes he's from way in the future. Sometimes he's like young. He's got I'm gonna say a
This
beard.
character is a concept. It's like a,
Yeah,
like okay.
they're all concepts. Wait, what?
He's a concept in that there's not a single occupant of him.
No, yeah, he's like yeah.
Right. Okay, keep going.
He's an idea. No, that's it. He's got like a big glasses and a beard, so you can have different people with the similar build. Like put on the Brad glasses and the Brad beard, and just be Brad. And every time there's like smoke, it'd be in the middle. Like I think he should enter in any point. Like sometimes in the middle of matches, and they're just like, oh, it's time, Brad. He's here.
So this is Quantum Leap.
No, it's time travel. He's time traveling in randomly. Like have him show up in the middle of the ring, or like
Tom's face right now is pure disgust. Like Tom is not into this idea
why
one
can't they
bit.
have a time traveler?
I didn't say you couldn't. I
And
was
you
on
could-
board with this, but I
the
looked over at
WWE's
Tom
gonna
to
be
see how
around
the
for,
room
like-
felt.
If they're gonna
And
be
Tom
around-
gave you a cosmic yawn. He gave you a yawn the size of the
Well,
universe,
I already
my
pitched
friend.
this to Tom. He
Yeah,
knows.
I've heard it. I've heard
Yeah,
it.
he's
I've
heard it.
it.
No,
Tom
like
is
if
not here for
WWE's
that.
lasted how long now?
Oh,
I don't know. That's time, Brad.
They should
Right
have
at the beginning. I tell you.
they should have had time Brad like right away. Like in the first week, and then
Like
just
in the
like every
50s?
few decades, time Brad shows up, and it's like
they should have had
special.
an incredibly postmodern idea in the 20s, is what you're saying?
and they could do stuff like they can start now. It's never too late, but like you have to like I assume they'll go for another fucking 100
you just want
years
them
or-
doctoring old timey photos of Time
Just
Brad.
putting him in the
Yeah.
background
You know
behind
what?
Gorilla
Add time
Monsoon.
Brad to the old matches.
I'll admit that I was refusing to consider this seriously because I saw the twinkle in your eye, which I knew only meant
the
jokes.
twinkle means I'm excited.
I don't think this is that dumb of an idea. I really
I
don't.
don't either.
I actually think like a guy who shows up as a concept every couple of years at a moment you don't expect is like, why not? Why couldn't we do it? Like,
Yeah, with like smoke and he like
Yeah.
predicts stuff.
he shows
That's
up
what-
right in the middle of the Money in the Bank match.
Like
Like just whenever, you know, like
people would get mad at this, but have him correctly predict the ending of one of the matches, and then he's from the future. So like we know. Like at first
that's
you
a
think,
fucking great idea. That's a really good idea. It just makes everybody mad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the main event where Braun Strowman wins, and everyone's like, no.
He
And then
comes
it
out
happens.
with the sports.
Yeah.
He comes out
And
with the
it, like-
sports almanac from
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
yeah,
2.
and it like seems like it's not going to happen at first, and then it fucking happens. Yeah, time Brad.
That is kind of a good idea.
Yeah.
Like it's a show breaking idea, which
Yes.
all of your ideas are.
Well,
Yeah.
they have so much. They have so much to work with. Like they know like we like. This is what I'm saying. Like, why aren't there fucking magic and stuff? Like they can do anything they want. They can have a
Right.
match on the moon, and they're not doing that. So fucking do it.
They're not doing that.
That's true.
They should get the vomit comet,
There's-
that plane, and do a match on that plane.
Essentially,
Zero gravity.
Zero gravity.
They've restricted their activities to just this planet.
right to the terrestrial
Yes.
realm.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is like kind of limited
Have
thinking.
more wizards. Yeah, more time travel. Come on.
I will support more wizards and time travel in pretty much any medium of entertainment.
So, what's the WrestleMania main event you're looking forward to the most now?
Time Brad versus
No, come
Smile
on, a real
Guy.
one. Smile guy. You still haven't
Oh,
found it.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Whatever Asuka's match is.
I honestly think it's Charlotte v. Lynch v.
Yeah, the
Ronda
women's
Rousey.
triple threat, which I think should main event.
I think it's gonna.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I hope
think,
so.
like,
Now
everyone's
is the
lined
time
up
to
for
do
it.
it.
We're going to meet back here in April and talk about it.
Yeah,
I mean, if one of us isn't dead
Yeah.
or
Well.
traveling in the future.
as long as the time Brad
We'll see
doesn't
about that.
Yeah.
mess with our timeline.
We need Time Brad now more than ever. All right, I'm going to call it.
Isn't this exactly that joke Soren did in Anti-Heroes? That stupid show we did.
Probably.
Like
I
he
don't
did.
remember. I don't
What's the joke?
remember.
Time Brad?
It was Time Tim.
Yeah.
Time
I
Tim?
think so.
I was thinking of Tim because it's 2 T's. But Brad, Time Brad.
Prescient.
Time Brad.
Timothy.
Oh, Jesus. I'm
Timothy.
calling it.
It feels like you can't. It's like we just keep.
You say
Nobody's
that.
laying down for 3. Nobody's laying down.
You say that.
Keep kicking out.
All right. That's the show. Thank you
Everybody
guys
say
so much for
goodbye.
being here. Thank you, Christian. Thank you,
You
Adam,
guys
for
want
coming
to
in here.
plug stuff?
If you guys want to plug anything, go ahead and do it. Assuming someone's still listening after this marathon.
You can. Well, I know they are because it's a delightful entertainment. You can find me online on the Twitter at The Real Gans, or doing the One Upsmanship podcast as part of the Small Beans Network, or wherever the fuck else I am, and you run into me.
Chilling.
I'm also on Small Beans Network doing Pop Culture Petri Dish. You can find me on Twitter at FanboyChristian. That's Christian with no H. And yeah, talk to me about wrestling or your own wrestling characters. Tweet those at me and Dave.
I'll be tweeting Time Brad at you.
Good.
Should all of you.
You need. I want 6 characters from you that are wrestling characters.
On my desk tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Can I have them, please?
Okay.
All right. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.